All right, we're live. How's everybody doing tonight?
We're good.
Doing
Good.
well.
Good deal. Good deal. All right, so we have a job. We're picking a Knob Creek single barrel rye. This is the first Knob Creek single barrel rye I've ever been involved in, so I'm excited about it. I haven't tasted or nosed or even opened, except for pouring them just now, these samples. So, anyway, not very experienced in this particular expression, so I'm excited to see what happens. Thank you both for joining me. I've got Jeff and Fletcher here, and I'll let you introduce yourselves and kind of give us a little bit of how you got into whiskey and if this is maybe your first, second, or if you've done a lot of selections, or if you're familiar with Knob Creek. And anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and just pass it on to you, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm from Ohio. I'm Jeff. I started off with like bullet and old fashions and that kind of thing, and I just kind of progressed to like wild turkey and Four Roses a lot now. So
Yep, hard to beat that. Both are great and have excellent single barrel programs. So, yeah, awesome. So, have you ever? It sounds like you haven't done a Knob Creek pick, bourbon or rye yet, right?
I've actually done a rye pick before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Yep.
it was kind of split even the time we picked. I was like 3 votes, 4 votes. So
Was it at the distillery or was it via
it
sample?
was at a local restaurant. We did it. So
Cool, cool. That was what, about a year or two ago?
probably about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, not too long. New bottling style, so it's pretty recent.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Looks like we got some comments here. Hey, Chuck, how's it going? Fletcher, how about you? You're from Nashville, right?
Yep, I'm in Nashville. I got into I don't know. I guess I got into whiskey like in 2016. Started off with like Bullet as well, and had some friends that just kind of got me into it. And I've done a Four Roses pick before the pandemic. Went up there, and that's really about it. But I mean, there's so many awesome stores here in Nashville. Been exposed to a lot of different barrel picks, so I'm excited. It'll be fun to pick this rye.
Definitely. Yeah. The Nashville area does have a lot of great stores with a lot of good picks there. So Woodland Wine and Tarok there to Elixir, and y'all got a lot going on there. Busy. Probably a lot harder to find special releases in your neck of the woods, but single barrels, y'all got tons of them, right?
Yeah, I've given up on the special releases, but I don't have enough money to buy all the good single barrels that get picked here.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, there's so many single barrel selections now from so many different brands. It's really hard to kind of pout over missing certain limited editions and stuff, because there's always something to find, right? I mean, whether it's locally or online, or I've got a fruit fly that's driving me nuts over here. It smells the rye. Yeah, so you got a lot of variety there, quality variety to pick from. Well, cool. Well, just to kind of let everybody know a basic rundown of what we've got 3 samples here. The first one is from the 4th floor of Rickhouse L, and it was distilled in 2016, September 14th. The second sample that we have is also Rickhouse L, but it's 6th floor as opposed to the first one, which is 4th floor. And it was distilled in April 2016. The last sample is very similar to the first sample from Rickhouse L, 4th floor, also distilled in the same date. They're pretty much brother sister barrels here, 2016, September 2016. And the proofs for the first and the third one are close, 125.9 versus 124.6, and the second one is 130.6. Obviously, that's because it spent that time on the 6th floor, which is 2 floors higher. It's a 7-floor Rickhouse, so this is not the top floor, but almost. It also is a little bit older, so it's had more time in wood. So we've all got these poured, and I think what we'll do is just go ahead and start nosing them. Let's just start with the first one. We'll just call that A. And to maximize the small amount of whiskey that we have to sample here, we're going to nose each one of them, kind of get some impressions, and then we'll move to the taste and finish. So let's go ahead and reach for sample A and see what that's all about. This is Fourth Floor of Rickhouse L. It's a little more candyish than I was expecting. I'm definitely not getting any of the bean funk, that you get with the bourbon.
I'm getting like cantaloupe.
Yeah, I could see some melon, definitely.
There's some ethanol in there too, I think.
Yeah, it's got some heat there. But one thing that kind of struck me, I'm not really getting it as much now as I was when I first nosed it, but it was like a blast of cotton candy initially.
Mm-hmm.
But now that's kind of settled down into more like a candy corn.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely this sugary.
There's some fruit in there.
Definitely. And I agree with you on the melon. I can get some melon on that for sure. Yeah, that's really nice. Has a nice sweet.
It looks really thick too.
Yeah, that's it. The thing about Knob Creek Rye in general is it does have a little bit of a thickness to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
it's just sitting up there. It's cool.
Let's move to the second one. Nose that. See what y'all think. Definitely seems a little darker.
I'm not getting the ethanol in this one at all.
No. It's a very different profile, isn't it? It's almost like the melon note that you were talking about, Fletcher, on the first one. Mm-hmm. I'm not getting that really at all on the second one.
No, it's hard. It's really just not very... I'm not getting much of a nose on it.
Really, to me, I'm getting more like of a brown sugar glaze on the second one. Compared to it's more bourbony, I guess I would say. The second one has more of that caramel, vanilla.
Yeah, I get some vanilla in there for sure.
Not getting any kind of bean funk, not any kind of peanut, any stuff like that.
No.
I noticed that someone on Discord earlier today was worried that there might be like a peanutty funk to some of these. That's not been my experience with Knob Creek Rye. At least nowhere near,
Yeah, not the ones I've had haven't had any. So
right, and for anyone, if that's a concern for anyone, or if you like it, either way, it's not really here, not so far. But yeah, the first one is brighter than the second one. The second one has just a darker profile. All right, we'll move to the third one. Nose that one. And the third one here, C, is very close to the first one, but that doesn't mean that it'll be the same.
Get some like citrus, orange maybe on this one.
I was thinking the same thing. There's an orange peel on this for sure. Yeah, orange peel. Yeah, that
smells awesome.
Yeah, that's strange that I was expecting it to be. I'm gonna have to go side by side here with the third and the first one. I mean, they have some similarities, but like the first one to me has like more confectioner sugar, and the like candy-ish again.
Mm-hmm.
The third one, I think citrus is the best way to describe it. That kind of Five Alive, lemon, lime, orange, grapefruit kind of mix. And it has like a white pepper maybe kind of in the back of it.
The last one does?
Yeah, just kind of like there's a or maybe lemon pepper. There's some kind of peppery thing to it. But it's very, very much in the back.
Yeah, I could smell that.
Not like a black pepper, not anything real harsh or bitter. Just something kind of there with that spice.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So, in my head, I've kind of got an idea of what I like nose wise. I've got an order. And just kind of make note of that, y'all, because what we'll do is we'll go back and kind of compare. And if it comes down to a tie, we'll go by the order as opposed to just pure favorite. So I'm going to go ahead and jot mine down just for the nose, but not spoil anything yet. All right, y'all want to sip some whiskey?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, let's do it.
Good deal. All right, let's hit the first one here. It's chewier than I thought it would be.
Yeah, really creamy.
Yeah, I'm getting
Almost
like
has a sourness to it.
Yeah, it has like a honey, mapley kind of. But there's definitely a fruit there, and I just don't know what fruit to use to describe that.
I kind of get that bitterness too a little bit.
On the finish?
Yeah, just on the palate. Yeah, in general, I get some bitterness to it.
Yeah,
it's like a blood orange or a grapefruit.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
I can see grapefruit with that.
Definitely. Yeah, it's got a zest to it, but it's the sourness that you're talking about. Maybe it's like an over-ripened kind of fruit. I know you said blood orange, which has that tendency to be very, very rich. But there's definitely it's different than the nose. It tastes different than it knows to me. It's got a more of a robust texture.
It's very lot of flavor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where the nose was subtle.
It'll be interesting, if we can save a little bit of this to kind of see what happens if we add a drop or two of water. Because just to remind everybody out there that the Knob Creek single barrel ryes are not bottled at cask strength. They're bottled at 115. So, it'll, with this being a 125 proof sample, we're talking about adding a 5% ABV.
Yeah.
Drop there. So maybe if we wait to the end, it might be a tiebreaker type of thing if we run into that. But I'm impressed with the I like the taste on one better than the nose personally. But let's move to the second one if y'all ready. Now, see, for me, the second one tastes very much like it nosed. Like, how there was like that brown sugary vanilla caramel.
Yeah, it's kind of creamy brown sugar up front.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the ending finish is good though. I think the spice on it just kind of like lingers, and
it has a again, it's not bourbon, but it has a profile that's more bourbony than the first one.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
A lot more of that brown sugar, caramel, vanilla that we talked about. But I mean, there's definitely some baking spice here for sure. It has a nice spicy finish. It'll be interesting to see if that maintains, if we add some water to it. But
yeah, the finish kind of lingers, I think, with that one. So
it's got a longer finish. It has a higher proof.
Yeah.
So some of that is and I'm also getting more of that Kentucky hug. Like I'm feeling it a little bit in my chest, and I did not get that with the first one. I'm gonna take one more sip here. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, it's very much like a bourbon.
It's sticky. Like it's just really sticky. Yeah, I like that. That's good. Okay. It'll be interesting to see how I keep saying that it'll be interesting. All right, let's go to 3. That's pretty nice. Again,
I would say it's more similar to the sixth floor that we just tasted before it.
yeah, it I was gonna say that it has that citrus. Like it's like to me, the first one kind of nosed differently than it tasted. The second one nosed and tastes pretty similar. The third one noses and tastes pretty similar. It's like that citrus. I'm getting like a dark, smoky citrus, charred kind of citrus. But I'm more impressed with the third one's taste than I thought it would be. I thought it'd be like, okay, this is going to taste like.
That's pretty good, I thought.
It is
the
pretty
finish
good.
kind of lingers with that one too.
Yeah.
Well, so
yeah, that's tough. So okay, let me give this third one more taste here because I came, off the heels of that second one. So yeah, I mean, I like it. Wow. Okay. So, question for you two. On the first one, is there anything that on the first one that you find like really redeeming that you just have to have it?
for me, it was probably the least favorite of the three. So
What you think, Fletcher?
Yeah, I think that
Is it still in the running for you?
no.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah.
I think we can
B and C
send
were
one out, right?
I would agree. Yeah.
Yeah, because one has pretty much fallen last place or has fallen last place in the nose, taste, and finish department for me. Not that it's bad, it just doesn't really have. It's just missing something.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna let's just put one aside. Like I don't think we need to. I mean, we can always tell you what, keep it around because we can add some water to it if we get to that point with these other two. And maybe a miracle will happen with it. I doubt it. But I think we can laser focus in on 2 and 3 or B and C as they're labeled. Okay, so let's. I'm going to have a swig of water here, and then retaste B and C, and kind of see if I'll nose and taste them and kind of see if one is like just so much better than the other one, and then I might add a drop or two of water. But let me have a little sip here. Is there anything on these two that you think I've missed? Like, is there some type of a note that struck you on either one of these that I need to be looking for?
I get some vanilla on the third one too, a little bit. It's like vanilla, citrus, lingering finish, kind of.
Yeah, it's when you just alternate between the two quickly. It's as much as I like. Now I'm just doing nose right now. As much as I like the darker profile that B has, it's kind of like that's its thing. It's like you get that brown sugar, dark vanilla kind of thing, but it doesn't really have that kind of rye. Hey, look at me, I'm a rye.
Yeah.
About it,
For sure.
With the third one, you still get, like you said, you get the vanilla in there, but you get a lot of that hey, I'm a rye, kind of quality.
I think they both have good finishes too. So
yeah,
I like how the third one, that citrus element to it, it tastes like a rye, where this B is kind of more like a bourbon, but then it has that citrusy element to it, which would be like, I think C would make a awesome, like old fashioned.
Yeah, I'm initially, like when I was just doing the nose, I guess I'm spoiling some things here. But when I was going by just the nose, I had 2 as my first place. But as far as taste and finish go, I switched up and I changed it from 2-3-1 to 3-2-1 for
Yeah, for nose, I had first place was 2 as
yeah.
well.
See, I had
So-
first place was the first one. For
Did
the
you?
nose.
Okay.
I really, but it didn't. The taste was not like the nose. Is kind of odd.
Yeah. Well, hey, I mean, it's not that the first one was tremendously different than the third, but the third one does have its own thing going for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that's tough.
I think the third one definitely is. It leans more rye, where the other one, the 2, is definitely is a little more bourbony. But there's like a
Yeah.
molasses kind of note in this one.
So on the nose, Fletcher, you had you said originally you had 1 as your first pick. What was your second?
Second was C.
Okay. So you had the third one as your second place
For the nose. Yeah.
for the nose. Okay.
Mhm.
And Jeff, you had first place on the nose.
I had
as
2
the
was
second one.
first, and then 3 was 2.
Okay.
1 was last.
Yeah. Okay. So that's where I had the. So have any of you had the third one as last place?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No,
Have any of you had the second one as last place? Like a Fletcher, I guess you had the
it was my last place for the nose, but
Okay. Okay. So it
It's
looks
like-
like we're leaning 3. So maybe if you got enough liquid left, what we could do is like add a couple drops of water and see what happens, because again, these are going to be bottled at 115. Do you guys have enough liquid to do that, or are y'all
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
I need to refill my water.
Go for it? Take your time. I'm gonna cap these off here. Make sure I have the right one. Okay. I'm just gonna add about 2 drops of water, maybe 3. All right, I did 3. And I'm gonna go ahead and do it to 1 too, although it's got a little less in the glass. I'm just gonna do 2 in it for the hell of it. Okay, swirl that around. Looks like I've got some questions here. So while we're all mixing and swirling, I'm going to answer these. Food, Wine, and Whiskey asks, what are the proofs of each barrel? Okay, so for 1, which was 4th floor of L, it was 125.9. We've pretty much ruled that one out. For the second one, it was, let's see here. This is from the 6th floor, 130.6. And then the third one is 124.6. It's 4th floor. So, somewhere between, 125, 130. And then we've got to, when they're bottled, they'll go down to 115. But this is with water added. Well, the profile on the second one changed.
How many drops did you put in it?
I put in, well, I had about an ounce in each glass. I put 3 drops. I used an eyedropper.
I did 3 and 2 on mine.
Yeah,
It didn't change much for me.
And I guess I probably should have added, less in the third one. You're right, because that has a little bit lower proof there. But hopefully that won't mess. I can always just. You said you did 2 drops in the third one, Jeff?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay, I'll add a drop of whiskey to try to counter it here in that last one. I didn't think about that being a lower proof than the second one. Okay. Well, let's see here. Move to the taste. The nose changed a little bit for me. It's like the sixth floor one. The sixth floor barrel to me went a little bit less on the brown sugar and more on the vanilla. It just lightened up a tad.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
The third one,
it almost got hotter when I added water to it.
yeah, the third one's just jutting out a little bit more than I recall it at barrel proof. Let me taste them here. Let's see.
I do like the creaminess of the second one.
I knew it. Yeah, I just took a
Got a
sip
good
of the second one.
mouthfeel to it. Yeah,
I'm like, wow, the mouthfeel is so much better with that water added to it.
I agree. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I haven't tasted the third one yet with the water. I'm gonna give it a second here and let my palate chill. But yeah, that the second you said that, I was like, dude, I know he's talking about two. All right, let's see. I mean, they're very, not that they're like worlds apart. I mean, you can tell they're the same whiskey, but that darker character and that creaminess in the second one, sample B, and it has a little bit longer finish even with the water than the third one. It's kind of hard to deny that. At first I was thinking, well, it's more bourbony than rye, but with the water added, I think that for me, the second one kind of has a little bit more going for it now.
That kind of flipped too with adding water to it. So
two definitely held up better to water.
Yeah, I think that it aged on a higher floor and it aged for longer. It aged for about 5. Well, now we're in October, so 6. Well, about 5 months longer than the other barrel, but now it's 6 months along. So 7 months. Or we're in November. What the hell am I talking about? So we're at least 7 months along here. I blame Knob Creek. So it's older than the fourth floor barrel. So we have a little bit of age there, and then of course it being on a higher floor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm leaning 2 myself. What do y'all think?
Yeah, definitely 2.
Yeah, once the water added, I 2.
Yeah,
what I think is better.
It holds way better. It holds up way better with water.
Yeah, I agree.
That was my first place nose as well. So
yeah,
the mouthfeel, the creaminess of it is delicious.
Yeah, originally barrel proof, I had 2-3-1 as the nose order, and then I had 3-2-1 for the taste and finish. That was at barrel proof. With the water added, I'm going to have to flip it and do 2-3-1 for the taste and the finish.
I agree.
I think we got a winner, guys.
Yeah.
So that's again, just to repeat the details here for everyone. This is 6th floor Rickhouse L. It's 130.6 proof barrel strength. It'll be, of course, diluted to 115, and it was distilled. Okay, I said March a few minutes ago. It's actually April 4th. So it is, 6, 7, depending on, I guess, about 7 months here from being, over the 5-year mark. So, okay. So I'm happy with that. Any of you have anything is there anything you want to re-nose, retaste, retry? Are we sold?
I like that one the best. I think it's good.
I'm always kind of disappointed when the higher tier one is the best one. But in this case, it is like.
Yeah, adding the water it did bring out some different traits, especially in comparison to the other two, and how they held up, and the mouthfeel. And do you guys know? Because I don't. Are the Knob Creek single barrel rye selections, are they non-chill filtered? Do y'all know?
I'm not sure on that. I would assume so, but I don't know for sure.
I don't
They
know.
sent a little booklet to me, and I don't think that was a talking point in it, but I can find out. I hope so. If so, then we should have a similar experience on mouthfeel, once it's bottled. And I don't know the time that, you guys have done some bean picks in the past. Is the bottling time like way far out there? Do they usually have them
I
done
don't
in
think
a
it was
couple
too
months?
far. I want to say like maybe 3-4 months, maybe something like that. It's
Okay.
not like wild turkey where it's like a year.
No kidding. What the hell, man? God. It's like, wow, pick some barrels back in March and here it is November, and it's like we don't know where they're at. So yeah, that's not
I want
cool.
to say it was like 4 months, maybe something like that.
Okay. Yeah, and of course, we're in the middle of a supply shortage of freaking everything. So who knows, when they'll actually be bottled. But I'm real happy with that. You know, I'm actually, this is my first, Knob Creek Rye pick, and I'm very happy. I've done well, I wasn't officially in on a Knob Creek single barrel bourbon pick, but I kind of helped with the local stores pick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just went, but that's that. This is like Knob Creek experience number 2, but number 1 like fully, something that I get to put, my name on with you guys.
Yeah.
So very, very happy with it. Well, cool. I'm going to save what little bit I have left here to compare to the bottles when it comes in. It's always neat to compare, barrel proof samples to the actual bottle and see, like, were we right, were we wrong?
Yeah.
But never been unhappy. I've always been pleasantly surprised after bottling. I've never had a pick, knock on wood, come back, something, where I was like, oh, what happened? So, okay, so in the comments here, Shim mentions that there's no mentioning of a single barrel rise being NCF. So I guess we can assume that they're chill filtered, but I don't know why they would, but then again, turkey does. So
Yeah.
And then Shim says they run about 2-ish months to get bottling and about 3 or 4 total elapsed time to arrive at keg and bottle. So
That's not bad then.
yeah, so not too bad. So they should be bottled probably December, January. And with this sample that we ended up going with, it had an April 4th distillation date. So we'll be kind of pushing that 6-year mark by the time it's bottled. So that's cool. And then let's see if I missed anything else here. Nope. Cool deal. Well, man, that was a lot of fun. You just never know what you're getting into with barrel selections. It's always kind of nice to kind of go in just blind and charge away at it and see what you get up with. But I will say this before we go. I did add some water to the first sample. And have either of you done that and tasted it? Just
I haven't.
I haven't tasted it. But
okay, now this could kill everything, so I'm going to try. But this is the first sample with water added, so let's see what happens. Yeah, I mean,
I
kind of
yeah, we made the right call, but I kind of like how weird it is.
It has a weird kind of. I'm getting
it like dries in your mouth, and it's like super rich and thick.
I got a weird honey vibe from it. Some kind of florally honey kind of thing.
Yeah, there is.
It kind of reminds me of. God, I can't put my finger on it. I've tasted a note like that before. There's in a weird way. There's like, and this trust me, this doesn't taste like it at all. But like the Starlight cigar batch has this kind of, it has a very unique profile. Like there's nothing like it. But there is this kind of honey note in that cigar batch, and I'm getting some of that same kind of funky honey in this. But I think that it's not enough to kind of pull me into it. Like I'm going to go back to 2 here, and I'm pretty sure that 2 is just going to be like, okay, yeah. Yeah, it's hard to beat that.
Yeah, two's the best, I would say.
Yeah, it's hard to beat that richness, that brown sugar, vanilla, and it's got a little bit more with the water added. There is a little bit more of an herbal spice, kind of citrus kind of thing there. Mainly, that brown sugar caramel, but
I mean, the mouthfeel just puts it over the top, I would say, with that one.
Longer finish, thicker mouthfeel.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, man. All right. Well, man, I enjoyed it. We have to do this again. Just so and I'll talk to you about. So y'all stay on when I kill this live here, because I want to talk to you guys about an idea that I have, because there's a policy in place with Beam Suntory where you can't have stickers on bottles, and you can't adorn it with anything like wax or bags or boxes or these types of things. And I'm not going to even try to work around that. But there is something cool that I want to do with this pick to kind of memorialize it. And I'll talk to you guys about that when we go off the live here. But I've got a cool idea I want to mention to you guys. So stay with me when I kill it here. But if there's no other questions from anybody else watching, I really appreciate everybody tuning in, watching our barrel pick, watching us nose and taste and talk gibberish for a little while. I think we landed on a winner, and I'm real happy with it. So with that, cheers. Thank you. And Jeff and Fletcher, I appreciate it. And y'all hang in there, okay? Good night.